Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 39 and today we are starting things off outside of Iskall's place, and by the look of things... it looks like we have got ourselves a bit of an item duplication going on, and by duplication I mean duplication. It looks like, yeah, it looks like that hopper there and this hopper here have actually duplicated their items. Oh, I didn't realize that was still a thing. We might have to connect those hoppers up to some redstone in the center, and then we're going to ask Iskall to flick it, and then that will activate all of the systems so that hopefully they don't get stuck again, because we don't want him to come through the nether portal, come through to his base and see all of these things just not doing anything, because that kind of defeats the object. So I guess, yeah, project number one is going to be to grab some redstone, connect up some redstone lines, and we'll make sure that he can actually control this thing. Now, thankfully, Iskall has actually been having some computer problems lately, which have sort of saved our skin a little bit, because otherwise, obviously, he would have logged in and he would have seen it by now, but because of his computer problems, he hasn't been able to record Hermitcraft, which means that this thing still hasn't been seen by him, which means that we can make changes to it still. Oh, that is kind of saved us there. Right, anyway, let's do this. So that should just about do it. If we flick this lever right here, you can see that one turns on, then that one turns on, and then that one turns on as well, and we've got all the moving redstone contraptions. And then when we flick this lever once again, that will switch that one off, that one will switch that one off, and that one will switch that one off. So I'm going to put a sign next to this lever and make sure that Iskall can clearly see it, but also I'm going to send him a message on Skype letting him know that A, I've pranked him, and B, that he needs to flick the lever for it to look really, really cool. Okay, cool. Let's head back over to the base and crack on with today's plans. I have no clue what these numbers mean, but I have the most of them, so therefore, I'm the best hermit. So plan number one for today's Hermitcraft episode is to gather up all of the quartz required to do the outer edges of these things right here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 left to do, which I don't actually know how much quartz that's going to be, but it's probably going to be quite a bit. I think about 36 stacks. Yeah, about 36 stacks of quartz dust. So we've got quite a lot of mining to do right there. That's a lot. Now I think I'm actually going to do this in the form of a mining challenge. So I'm going to try my best to get as much nether quartz as I possibly can within 1 hour. And I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section how much you think I'm going to get. Already we've got off to a pretty good start here. So in today's time-lapse chat, I want to talk to you about how ridiculous this year has been for me, because I've been taking a look at my subscriber count recently, and it kind of dawned on me that I'm currently at 1.75 or almost 1.75 million subscribers. Now, that's an insane number on its own, okay? On its own, that is a completely ridiculous number. But when I stop and think about the fact that it was only last year that I hit 1 million subscribers, which was a milestone that I worked towards for a solid 4 years. For a solid 4 years, I was working up towards 1 million subscribers. For me to now be almost at 2 million subscribers, or a quarter of a million subscribers away from 2 million subscribers, that is completely ridiculous. And I've been sat here scratching my head trying to think how it's all happened. Seriously. Because for me personally, I did not expect this whole YouTube thing to pick up as well as it has. I remember back in the early days of my YouTube channel, my mum was actually asking me about how my channel was going, and she said, "Do you think you'll ever hit 1 million subscribers?" And I replied, "I'm not the sort of YouTube channel that does hit 1 million subscribers. It's just not going to happen." And since then, everything has kicked into gear, and everything has just taken off, and here I am, almost approaching 2 million subscribers. I can't believe it, and the thing that's actually put this in perspective to me was the fact that I recently received the YouTube yearbook. Apparently you get a yearbook for the year that you hit 1 million subscribers, and you get put inside a book with all the other people that have hit 1 million. And inside that book, it actually said 1.2 million subscribers. That's how many my current subscriber count was at the time it was printed. And since the time it's been printed, I've gained almost 500,000. I mean, how ridiculous is that? I actually can't believe it. And I just want to extend out a massive thank you to everyone who has supported the channel over the time that I've been running this. The support recently has been completely insane. Thank you ever so much for all of the comments and just all of the support that I've been getting on every single form of social media. It really does mean the world to me, and you have made this YouTube experience considerably more enjoyable. Anyway, let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server. And that is that. 1 hour has passed, and somehow, I don't know how I've managed to pull this off, but I'm actually perfectly in line with my portal. I just have to travel across about 200 blocks. Seriously, I have a screenshot, and it is 191 in the X, and 42 on the Y. So, I don't know how I've managed to do that, but anyway, I'm going to make my way back over to the portal. As you can see, we've managed to get a decent quantity of nether quartz. But it's not ridiculous. I actually don't think we're going to be able to cover all of the platforms, which is a bummer. I really wanted to do that. Now, I must say, now that I've actually placed all of the nether quartz, it looks a tiny bit more impressive. The only thing is that I don't actually have a Fortune 3 pickaxe at this point in time, so we've got to get one of those. And I've been a total moron, because I've forgotten to bring any spare things to enchant or waste my enchantments on, so I'm having to use diamond armor that I found on our end raid, and it's not going particularly well. I think I've only got 2 more bits left, and I need to get, all I want to see is Fortune 3 in that bottom section. No, not at all. This is my last one. Finally, after getting all my stuff from the base, we managed to get ourselves a Fortune 3 pickaxe, and now I've combined that with another Efficiency 4 book to give me Efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3. That is perfect. Obviously, we could do with mending, but I wasn't able to do that there as we don't have any mending books. So now let's just run back over to the base. And this is just a super fast time lapse of me taking out all of the nether quartz. Just done. Taken out, wiped out all the nether quartz, it's gone. Just kapoosh. Capiche? Well, I don't know what the words I'm going for here. And oddly enough, that sounded like the start of a rap as well. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go. And I must admit, I am very surprised by the quantity that we managed to get. That is a lot of nether quartz. Hopefully that should be enough to cover the other 3 platforms in their slabs. And after just over 4 hours of work, the slabs are done. We have got slabs on the outlines of the entire base. Now, I cannot believe that process right there took such a long time, but obviously quartz is one of those materials. It's a massive pain in the backside to get, and then we had all of the breaking of the blocks, the enchanting of the items, everything like that coming together to create this rather lovely looking build that is now pretty much completed in terms of the lower section. The only thing is that I want to have another section that flies above it with the glass walkways, and I also want these to have glass walkways as well, much like the rest of the build. This is huge. This is probably one of the biggest projects, just in terms of sheer building size, I've ever had to work on. But at this point in time, you can see the bits that extend out, they're just looking a little bit flat. And it would be really nice to have some depth and some glass going on. Now the question is, do I build the flying ones first, or do I build the underwater ones first? I think I'm gonna have to go with, I just don't know. I concluded it would probably be best to do the ones underwater first, so that I can fully plan out what I'm going to be doing above. So, number 1, template-wise, has almost been completed. I'm just flying backwards here, making use of the pick block function once again to make things nice and quick, and hopefully, oh, that should just about do it. I've actually overshot where I'm meant to be going. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I've managed to get myself really lost here. So those blocks go across like that, and then, yeah, these blocks are the ones that aren't necessary, and then obviously we'll have the pathway going across. Now this is going to look absolutely grand once this thing is finished. But once again, this is like a megalodon of a build. This is huge. Okay, next up, filling it in. And that just about does it for the underside platform. You can see we've got all of the lighting, we've got all of the blocks in place. I have built way too many of these diamond square type things over the past couple days, but it's looking good, and it's only going to look better once we get all of the glass in place and once we get all of the water cleared out from the inside. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that in today's Hermitcraft episode, as quite frankly there's not enough hours in the week. But anyway, as is the case with these things right here, we do have 3 more of them left to build, so I guess I should probably start cracking on with those. And resources wise, I don't think I've got enough, so we're going to have to craft up some more. Thank goodness I've been doing a lot of AFK fishing, which of course loads up the Guardian farm as well. I seem to really struggle with getting carried away here. I've built this probably about 20 blocks too long. Oh, there we go, that's about it. Things are going pretty well progress-wise. We are cracking on through this build. I've managed to do the entire external template whilst overshooting pretty much every single one of the corners. And now we have got the easy job, which is just to walk around pressing the right-click button on every single one of these blocks. And thankfully, I think because the contrast is a little bit lower when you're underwater, as in there's less contrast between the blocks and the top of the water surface, it's not really hurting my brain this time. So I can do this fairly comfortably. This is great. And that, my friends, is that. The second one is now all completed as well, or at least the platform is all done. Obviously, we don't have all of the glass in place, but once again, it's looking pretty good. Now, we do have ourselves quite a big landmass right there, which I haven't taken out. I've literally just ignored it and just kind of split up our walkways. We'll have to work on that later on. But for today, I'm actually all out of time. But of course, I do still have tomorrow to record this Hermitcraft episode, so I think for this evening, I'm going to go on a quick AFK fishing session just to see how much I can manage to get during that time. But before I go, I just want to say that Creative North, the people that I went to the Lake District with last weekend, have released the first video from the trip, and it's amazing. It's seriously good, which is frustrating because, of course, you know, I've been filming as well, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to produce a video that looks quite as cool as theirs does, because, of course, they're proper filmmakers, they know what they're doing, and they've managed to capture the first bit of the trip so well, like in such a good way. So I'll put a link to that one on the screen and also down in the description, but I'm going to try and find my fishing rod and then we can crack on with this. And we are back, and we have managed to spend a full night here, and I've got 80 levels, and it seems to have overflowed. But books. We have got, I mean, we've got a handful of things, but nothing particularly exciting. After the full night, and with daylight access, yes, we have got at least one mending book. Thankfully, we have got 2 mending books. Okay, we have got 2 mending books. That's fantastic. I'm going to take these things over here, and I am going to enchant up my new fortune pickaxe, which I believe should be somewhere around here. Yep, so there it is. Efficiency 5 on breaking 3 fortune. And let's just do that, and do a little bit of that. I'd say this one would be the best one. And there we go. So we now have mending on the fortune pickaxe. That's fantastic. We also have the silk touch pickaxe in there. And whoa, we have got some serious books in here. But anyway, I'm going to pick up all of those items, and then we're going to continue work on the project. So I'm just starting work on the next little diamond over here, and I've looked inside that area. Oh my word. Well, I guess that's what you get when you forget to light up that area. At some point, this will be transformed into a villager breeding area. But seriously? We need to set up some form of mob farm. I know it will kill the rates of the Guardian farm, but I suppose what we can do is we can make like a switch that either turns on the mob farm or turns on the Guardian farm. I mean, can you imagine how many mobs will be spawning in it if that many mobs are just spawning in that tiny space there? That is totally ridiculous. But anyway, despite our crazy mob problem, this is the template, once again, all done. I don't know how many times I could say that in today's Hermitcraft episode. But yeah, the template has been finished, and as per usual, is looking really cool. In fact, I'm quickly going to check out how this looks from inside the base. Sadly, you can't really see the one that I've just built, but being able to see the other ones is mental. Jeez, man. I've said every single time I've built something new for this base, I've said that it looks like something out of like Star Trek or Star Wars. This looks like a Star Destroyer type thing. It looks like one of those laser... I don't know what I'd call it, but it looks ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to keep building this thing. Obviously, I need to do a whole bunch more work. I need to fill in the rest of the blocks. Thankfully, things go faster once you're filling in the insides because you're not having to pick block every 2 seconds. So we should just be able to fly on round. For the 7th time over the past couple days, this thing is now almost done once again. There we go. That is all completed. Okay, and as per usual, it looks pretty good. I mean, there's not much change between that one and that one. That one over there is the final one left to go. But before we start work on that one, I just want to say that I recently received a tweet where someone had manipulated the thumbnail of one of my videos. It was a thumbnail where I literally just took an above ground shot, probably from way up there, of the entire base. And they had connected up this to this using like a curve that comes in like that. And then there's a little pathway that goes from that section and kind of meets up the curve. And they hadn't built it. They'd literally just drawn on it with a prismarine coloured pen tool. But it did give a good idea of what it would look like to do that. And I have to say, it did look quite cool. So I think in one of the original videos, I said that when I was building these, I wanted to have like diagonal lines going across. But part of me kind of thinks maybe that curve there could look pretty good. It would kind of come out straight and then bend in and then bend out and then bend back in like that. So it would kind of wobble around a bit like what we have going in here. Like you've got one bend, then a bend in the opposite direction, then a bend the other way. It would be a bit like that. So it would bend this way, then bend that way, then bend this way. It might be really difficult to build. Really difficult to build. Now I think for this final one right here, I'm going to do it in the form of a third-person time-lapse. We've done a lot of progress updates, we've also done quite a lot of time-lapses, but I feel like that will probably work best for this final little diamond. For this final part of the video, I just want to inform you guys of something that has recently happened that I think is really quite strange. So essentially I got an email coming through in my Google inbox saying that my Google Plus account had been suspended, which is odd because I haven't used the Google Plus account ever. I've never put a post on Google Plus or anything. So I got an email coming through saying that my Google Plus account had been suspended, which it's connected to my YouTube account. There's no way that it's been hacked. It's fully connected to my YouTube account. If someone's into my Google Plus account, then they're in my emails and they're on my YouTube channel. And so far, I've seen no evidence. And I checked through the recent activity. There's no way there's anyone else in here. So clearly, this was actually a thing that Google did. They suspended my account. Now, not only is that weird, but also it turns out that the filming channel was connected to that Google Plus account, and that was it. So the filming channel is a little bit of a strange one because it doesn't have its own dedicated email address. The email address for the filming channel is the same as the one for my personal gaming YouTube channel. So I log in with the same account and then both channels are listed and I can go between them. And ever since this Google Plus account has been suspended, I haven't been able to get into the filming channel. It's just not listed. I can't log in. It's still there. It's still on YouTube. You can still watch the videos. They're still existing, but I cannot log in and I can't upload. And it's been stressing me out. I'm trying to solve it, but I honestly... there's nothing there. I can't seem to get through to anyone. And I just have a YouTube channel that not only has like 160,000 subscribers, but also lots of time and effort has been put into that. And I absolutely love that channel. And for me to not have access to it is, yeah, it's a bit of a stressor. But I just thought I'd let you guys know that's kind of the situation on that one. So if you don't see videos on the filming channel for a little while, it's because I can't. I've been making them, but I can't actually upload them. Rather frustratingly, my hard drive ran out of memory mid-time-lapse. I didn't notice it happening. It happened about 25-30 minutes in. But unfortunately, due to me recording with Fraps, despite the fact that I have a 4 terabyte hard drive that I record these videos to, because of how many videos I record and how much storage I have to store all of the raw files of those, I do run out of memory quite often. And even though that was only a 30-minute time-lapse, it is... How big is it? It is 250 gigabytes in size. So 1/4 of a terabyte. I used, what's that? That would be 1/16 of my storage in a half an hour time lapse. So yeah, unfortunately I did manage to run out, but I've cleared up some extra space. Now I'm recording once again, and this thing is all finished. All of these have now been completed. I'm very, very happy with them, and I think the base is looking really cool. We're making some pretty solid progress right here. Obviously, over the next couple days, I'm going to be doing some extra work on these, making sure that they're nice and large, and I'm going to do some thinking about the whole connecting thing. But for the time being, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.